ain't got the hustle and the patience, yeah. And all my friends keep calling me delusional. Don't know how I'm gonna do it all. They say that I'm in too deep. If it's another bear market, I won't lose no sleep. I'm pre-ready. I know that one man sold too early for 2 pizza pies. Other man held for 15 years now.
Hey guys, welcome back to another blockchain banter at internet speed. I have myself, Crypto Pumps Jer. We have Jay, which is Quick Crypto on YouTube. We have Jack from Kaskad. We have Lewis from Zealous, and we have Ashton from IGRA. You're very welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on and talking to us.
Thanks for having us.
Full house today.
Yeah, full house.
bit daunting, can't lie. Honestly, I can't lie. I started listening to it just whilst I'm doing my own work, just the hype around it. I find it's just so. The man who made it, who's the guy who made it again, Joe?
Who made what? Sorry,
intro, the blockchain Banter intro that we got a hold of.
Oh, Ryan at Cast Tunes. He's on X. Yeah,
it's so good.
I love it.
It's so good.
It is so good. I was jamming for a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to count down 3, 2, 1, but it always gets stuck on 3.
Yeah. So, last week it did it well, you know. I think it's the first time last week it did it perfectly, and then this week it stopped at 2 again. I was like,
yeah.
I thought I had the magic touch, but apparently not. But yeah, welcome everybody to what's it, episode 7 now, I think. Oh, you know what? I think I messed up the thumbnail. I didn't change it. Oh, let me fix that real quick while we go through the question. I think it's meant to put episode 7 now of Banter internet speed. But yes, this is going to be another action-packed stream. Ashton, is it Louis or Lewis? I just want to make sure I get this correct going forward.
Whatever you want. I got called.
Whatever I want.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well,
Lewis.
Okay. Well, we'll go with Lewis, and then you got Jack as well. Everybody. So, I guess to start off with, if we're going to go straight into these questions, we'll do a kind of the broad question to address everybody first and foremost, which is we could just start a light show off the bat because we do it all the time anyways. the wallet 1 question. I know Ashton's already done this, so I don't have to do it again. But with you here, Lewis, and you, Jack, the Kaspa wallet 1 currently holding almost 5% of Kaspa's total supply. Do you have any ideas on who you think it might be? You heard from Pavel it might be potentially someone who in Kaspa Core, and maybe other people that might even be just your market makers, your Binances, whatever it may be. Do you have any ideas yourself on who you think it might be?
I don't have any idea. Same.
Yeah, no idea at all. Good for them, but just keep on holding them, please.
Don't sell. Keep buying.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very suspicious when people won't even make a guess.
It's you guys. It's a multi-sig between Jack and Lewis.
Yeah, we wish.
I hope that was true.
Just give me a key. That's all I gotta say.
Sorry, Jack. It's the first time I spoke to you, and Ashton's been on before, and we'll ask you as well, Lewis. Can you just give us a very quick background, please, for yourself?
Yeah, so I'm currently sitting as the CEO of Kaskad. We are building a lending and borrowing protocol on IgraLabs. So basically, we are trying to set ourselves as the main lending service on a layer 2 based rollup that is IgraLabs, and we want to attract people and democratize the idea of using your assets in a different way. Instead of just selling them on sexes, you can start building strategies and learn how to use stable coins and build some liquidity strategies to generate some yield for your assets and stay within the ecosystem, learn about the ecosystem, build with the ecosystem. So this is what we are trying to do.
Okay, brilliant. And Lewis, I know I've spoken to you a couple of times, but just for people, in case they haven't seen you, do you mind doing a little quick background on yourself?
Of course. So I'm Lewis. I'm the founder of Zealous. We build liquidity infrastructure for the Kaspa ecosystem. Currently, we have the Zealous DEX, which is the biggest DEX right now on the Kaspa L2. And we are planning to launch also on the upcoming IGRA Layer 2. We're also building ZAP, our auction protocol. It's called Zealous Auctions Protocol, which is also coming to the IGRA Layer 2 and potentially to Kaskad also. But for now, the launch will be on the IgraL2, and we have a couple of products also planned on the pipeline, which I cannot talk to about right now. But yeah, so basically, our entire mission is to build like sustainable liquidity for the Kaspa DeFi infrastructure. So yeah.
Awesome, great to hear. And actually, let's continue on that front with you, Lewis. One thing I wanted to know, actually, and I'm sure we all do, is you're also with Zealous building a native AMM, automated market makers. So I wanted to kind of know, while we're still waiting for smart contracts on the mainnet, why would native AMMs be so important for Kaspa going forward as well?
Exactly. So basically, with automated market makers, you don't need like people constantly selling and buying. You just need people putting capital that they are willing to provide, like in an environment, liquidity pools. They would earn like swap fees on that, so they are earning while providing this service, and they would allow anyone to instantly like exchange tokens, like swap any token for any token, as long as there is enough liquidity to handle the swap. So it's basically a win-win. Anyone can swap at any time. You don't have like to go to a centralized exchange, place an order, wait for the order to get filled. So you just do it instantly, and the people that are providing liquidity also earn fees. So it's a win-win for the people that want to buy and sell, and for the people that just want to hold assets but want to also earn on top of it. Instead of holding them in their wallets, they can like add them, provide liquidity in a liquidity pool, and earn. Yeah.
Okay, and so you've launched Zeal before, I know, because I bought Zeal and I have it in a liquidity pool at the moment. I know the price isn't doing too good, but everything in the whole market isn't doing good at the moment, so can't say anything about that. But what is that you're launching a new token called Zap? What's the difference between how you're launching that one and how you launched Zeal?
Okay, so basically we're not launching a new token. It's
All
a
right,
new it's a new platform. It's called Zap. Actually, it will benefit the Zeal holders. We are planning to announce later the new additional benefits that Zeal will get out of this platform. But this platform will help other projects launch tokens in a fair way, and it would be convenient for the projects and for the people that wants to buy the token. I also want to add one more thing about liquidity pools. For having AMM, it's also better from a decentralized standpoint instead of holding assets in a centralized exchange. And maybe that exchange would fail, maybe it will get hacked. So your assets, they are not with you, they are in the centralized exchange, right? So if anything happens, you might lose your assets. But when you have an AMM on chain, so what happens is you keep your assets in your wallet, which you have the private key to, which you can access at any time, and you just like you interact with smart contracts. So you never give anyone your assets to swap them. You just like swap them and receive them directly in your wallet. So it's better from a decentralized standpoint, or and also like instant swaps. It gives anyone instant swaps.
Okay, brilliant. Apologies on that. I'm a little bit behind on a lot of different stuff. So I thought it was a token, but it's a platform. But I did read that on the 20th, are you launching it on the 20th, which is 3 days?
Exactly. We're launching it on the IgraGalleon testnet. We will have a public auction, which anyone can participate in and test it. We've actually updated our faucet. It now gives USDC on the IgraL2 testnet, Galleon. For people to participate, they can go and start claiming USDC, because that auction that will launch on Friday, the 20th, will use USDC as the currency that you will use to participate in that auction.
Because I had a quick look at that as well, actually, which I saw you could have the option of, USDC, but it also still had the ICAS element there. So is it a case that you don't pick ICAS anymore? You could pick either raw or...
For the project decides which currency they want to be using. They can either just use ICAS or stablecoins or any other token. But just for this demo, we will be using like USDC. For any auction, just one currency can be used. The project decides which is. It can be ICAS, USDC, as I said, or any other ERC20 compatible token.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, as I'm aware, both Zealous and Kaskad are also in partnership with IGRA, which thankfully we've got Ashton here to kind of be able to break this more down more so. So I guess a question to kind of all three of you and how this unison or this work, the partnership with all of it, how does it really work out and how does it help in the kind of growth of all elements that you're all building as well and on Kaspa? Do you want to take it away? Let's go with Ashton first, why not?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to. So I think the partnership part of this and the like technical use case of the stablecoins or the bridged assets themselves are two different conversations and two different points, right? So the assets themselves are just inherently important because getting native stablecoins on either IGRA or Casplex or even Kaspa L1 is going to prove difficult, right? It's a very expensive process. It requires a lot of like regulatory due diligence and clarity from Circle or Tether or whoever is backing the stablecoin, and it's just an early ecosystem that we have to be realistic that we may not be at that point where we can pay them that much money to do it, or maybe they don't feel comfortable issuing the native asset. So the bridged versions are essentially equivalent from all intents and purposes. I mean, they are backed one by one. They are the exact same asset. And it brings us something stable to the network to use. So that on the technical side is extremely important, I think, not only for IgraLabs as a network, but for Zealous in terms of their DEX liquidity pools. People want to trade, ICAS or Nacho or whatever new token is created against a stablecoin. And then on Jack's side with Kaskad, it's, I think, even more important and a really critical component of their business because you've got to be able to lend and borrow in stables, in fiat equivalents on chain. So I think from a technical side, it's really just we needed this in the ecosystem to take the next level of growth. In terms of the partnership, this, I think, aligns interests in a really unique way in crypto that many other networks don't. In terms of like avoiding fractionalized liquidity or segregation of liquidity, with all of us in on this same partnership, and this includes, a couple other players like Kaspa.com, for example. We can all have the exact same contract address for USDC in all of these different products, or USDT, or whatever the token is, right? And the end user experience of someone, playing in this ecosystem or participating on chain is significantly improved because they can take the same USDC from, Zealous Swap and go lend and borrow against it in Kaskad, and then go, swap in one of Kaspa.com's dexes, things like this. So it's rare to find, I think, a tight knit group that's willing to take on shared risk and shared cost to do this. So, I mean, I'm obviously pontificating now because I love this project and I was super excited about getting it done. But hats off to these guys for participating and taking on the risk. I think it's a win for everyone.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ashton. I think the interests were all aligned between the 5 participating projects, and we all want the same thing, which is bring more people into Kaspa. So, I mean, it was obvious for all of us that this was a good strategy to adopt right from the start, and I'm happy we pull this off because, like you said, Luis, we are also implementing on our testnet DApp a function to allow people to mint those future assets that you will have on mainnet, so people can start playing with it. So you can already mint some USDC, USDT, wrap ETH, because, like you said, Ashton, I think for us at Kaskad, for example, we don't want people to only play with super volatile assets. We know it's risky. We know it's not completely battle tested for people willing to play with huge positions. So we encourage people to play also with stablecoins, to develop new strategies, to hedge themselves. And you need stablecoins for that. You don't want to be pegged only on Kaspa, only on IGRA, only on Kaskad. It's too risky, and we all know that. So we need good, reliable liquidity coming from reliable chains that people are used to use, basically. And like you said, Ashton, if they go to Kaspa.com, they can go to Zealous, they can go to Kaskad, they can stay on IGRA, and they can keep being familiar with what they are using, and not being forced to jump from one contract to another, one process to another. It's all aligned.
Jack, that's the next question I want to ask you is, like, I know Lewis and Zealous has been around for a while. We've got to play around with that a bit, but you haven't launched yet because you're waiting for
Yes.
IGRA. Can you, like, for people, like I was talking to you backstage, that I'm newer in crypto. I got into Bitcoin in 2021, and then I moved over to Kaspa. So I've never used a lend and borrowing platform. So I'm really interested in hearing, like, can you explain how it works, please?
Yeah, it's rather elegant and simple at the same time. It's just a system that is managed by smart contract, and that says that if you are willing to provide this amount of collateral, meaning you are providing a portion of your assets from your wallet, and you are putting it inside a smart contract on the lending platform, you are also allowing yourself to borrow against this collateral at a certain value, at a certain level, and you are also providing liquidity for other users who are going to interact with the lending smart contract to do the same as you. And the idea is like Luis is mentioning with Zealous, with the AMM, you are providing permissionless service where people can stay in full custody of their assets until they choose to interact with smart contract, but they can leave whenever they want. We don't hold custody of people's assets as Kaskad, as a project. We don't. We provide the code and ensures the rules that are set by the contracts, and the contracts manage the assets on people's behalf. So they are free to operate, to come and go as they wish. They are free to provide, they are free to withdraw, they are free to sell, they are free to lend. They can do whatever they want. What we are providing is basically more means to use their assets. And we are not asking for permissions. They are not asking for permissions. They decide what to do with the assets. So it's a good way for you as a user to decide whether you want to get out of the crypto system or you want to stay in, but you want to maybe reduce the exposure to volatile markets, so you want to get back to stable coins, but you still want to generate some yield on top of those stable coins. So you can stay into crypto and you can still provide liquidity, lend against, spend this money for your day-to-day life and then repay the loan, or also sometimes benefit from the volatility of the asset you are providing in the higher prices. So it's like many possibilities that are offered to you with lending and borrowing.
Yeah. Okay. So just to probably just dumb it down a little bit more. So I have Kaspa. It's just sitting there in cold storage, but I can use that. I can lock that in Kaskad in a smart contract. It can be put into a liquidity pool. I can earn off that. Would it be? And then I can take a loan of stable coins against that, against my Kaspa. Would that be?
Yeah, technically you can do that, but I think one important thing to stress, because I rarely hear this, weirdly enough, is that you are not forced to borrow against your asset on lending. You can just provide liquidity, supply your asset, and earn some yield on top of it without exposing yourself to the risk of being liquidated, because you just provide liquidity to the platform. So you have zero risk of being actually liquidated by any price volatility. You just a liquidity provider for other people to borrow against. So this is a perfectly safe strategy for someone who's not really deep into, I don't want to borrow against my Kaspa. I don't feel like it. And I don't think you should always borrow against your Kaspa. It depends on the market condition, on the dynamic of the market. Perhaps it's not the best moment to borrow against your Kaspa, but perhaps it's a good way for you. It's a good idea for you to supply your Kaspa on a lending platform and just earn some yield on just for doing that. I mean, most of us are doing this on Aave or other platforms alike, and you feel safe. Granted that the platform is safe, obviously, but like you're not forced to risk of being liquidated with your assets. It's just up to you if you are risk averse or just more comfortable with taking a bit of more risk and you want to loan against your collateral.
Okay, and I had one more before Jay gets in there. So if I know you were saying you don't have to do this, but if I was to borrow against my Kaspa at 3 cents and it dropped down to 1 cent, some of your Kaspa gets sold to cover the because it's the collateral is no longer enough. Is that how it works? But
Yes, technically, but you have to take into account the amount of collateral, the amount of liquidity you borrowed against your position. So let's say you provided $10,000 worth of Kaspa, and you did this at 3 cents and it went down to 1 cent, but you only borrowed like $1,000. Out of those $10,000, you should still be safe because your loan to value ratio is super low. So it depends on how much, how close to the absolute limit of the borrowing loan to ratio you are actually sitting. And what we are doing in Kaskad, for example, is that we are limiting the loan to ratio on certain volatile assets such as Kaspa. So in some lending platform, you can borrow up to 70% of your total position. So if you are providing 10K, you can borrow 7K. But on Kaspa and on Kaskad, for example, you would only be able to borrow 3K out of your 10K. So it reduces the risk of being liquidated. It doesn't cancel the risk of being liquidated. If Kaspa goes to zero, you are going to be liquidated. But I don't think Kaspa is going to zero. But I mean, you don't have to be super risky when you borrow. It's like people who play a riskier game, sometimes they just lose. They don't gain more, they just lose, right? But in Kaskad, we are just reducing this risk by default, and we will adjust the level of max loan to ratio to loan to ratio of the borrowing position, because maybe people would like us to reduce it, so we'll have the governance to do that. But we are trying this approach with a 30% max LTV.
Awesome. It's my understanding from the research that I have done and spoke about with my community that when it comes to elements like, generating yields, yield farms, that sort of stuff, it's kind of how it's a means of how you basically become your own bank, because this is kind of similar to what banks do. So it's a way how you can utilize DeFi to make gains passively as you go. So just wanted to make that point in itself, but I wanted to kind of ask, is there much of a difference between Kaskad in the liquidity or yields, but then also what Zealous is doing with the AMM?
Yes, there is. The point of banks, so basically what Kaskad does, it completely removes the middleman from lending and borrowing, which is your bank, which you have to go to. They will ask you questions. They will then approve or disapprove your loan. Kaskad completely removed that. So you just go on chain. There's no question. No one asks you anything. You have capital. You can put it. You can earn yield on it, and you can borrow against it, as Jack explained. You can do strategies like, let's say I have Kaspa, I lend them, and then I believe that Kas will go up in the near future. So what I do is I borrow stable coins. I borrow stable coins against them. I go to, let's say, to Zealous. I swap them back for Kas, and then I lend them again on Kaskad. Now I have more exposure to Kas. So now if Kas goes up, I can sell the additional Kas that I swapped back to USDC, pay my interest and my loan, pay it, and now I end up with more cash than I had before, because one, I earned from the yield that Kaskad was generating on my deposited capital, and from the cash appreciation, which, let's say I borrowed $1,000, cash appreciated to 10%. Now my cash is worth let's say $1,100, but my loan now is worth, like, let's say 1,000 and an additional dollar that I have to pay, because of course when you borrow assets you also have to pay a certain
Interest.
percentage, interest. So I profited $99 just from, because I profited an additional $99 of exposure that I shouldn't that I didn't have exposure to before I did it on Kaskad. And the difference between the yield is that Kaskad generates its yield from the people that are borrowing assets.
Yes.
They pay for the lenders, and for Zealous, it's being generated from the people that are swapping on the pools. So as long as people are exchanging assets, those people are paying fees. The liquidity provider here earns let's call it interest or fees from the people that are swapping. On Kaskad, they are earning fees from the people that are borrowing the assets.
There's one other thing that I want to jump in real quick, Jay, if you'll let me.
Yeah, please.
Obviously, we can't provide tax advice, and every jurisdiction is a little bit different. But lending and borrowing is really unique in crypto because it levels the playing field between what the rich have been doing for decades with their stocks and assets to the everyday layman man that doesn't have a lot of assets. Because borrowing against your collateral, the cash you put in or whatever asset you put into Kaskad, is not usually considered a taxable event. You didn't sell anything. It's just like going to the bank and taking a loan, getting 50 grand out. They're not going to tax you on that 50 grand the bank gave you because it's a loan. You've got to pay it back. The only real fees you get are the interest associated with that. So, you know, we've seen for decades, especially in a lot of affluent societies, the richest of the rich get a lot of stocks, a lot of homes, a lot of hard assets, and then they never sell those. They let them appreciate over decades and decades. And normally that would mean that they're illiquid. You can't spend them. You can't access them. But if you can take a loan against them, you've got no tax problems and you've got assets that are feeding you income to be able to live every day without removing your position or your exposure to that native asset. So it's a huge win. And like Lewis said, when you combine both, you get into some really complex and attractive strategies that obviously come with a lot of risk, but you know,
I'm pretty sure that's what Elon Musk did when he got a hold of Twitter. No, he took loans out against his Tesla shares.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Only thing is, though, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's meant to be some laws that are trying to release about taxing unrealized profits and therefore might impact.
Yeah, I just saw some European countries say that they're gonna. Yeah, and then unrealized gains on Bitcoin or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure the UK is definitely eyeing that one up as well. So let me just get this right then, to try and wrap my head around it. So the difference between Kaskad's lending and able to earn yield and Zealous's AMM is kind of just the manner in which how they go about. So one is lending against, one of them regarding swaps for liquidity. That's the main difference between the two then? Or there might be something else I missed.
Okay, so on Zealous,
yes,
when you provide liquidity to a certain pool, let's say Cas and USDT, you would have both assets, and you are like okay with holding both assets, so you put them in a liquidity pool and earn fees from people swapping from Cas to USDT or from USDT to Cas. That's completely different. Jack can explain Kaskad's side, but on Kaskad, you only need one asset. You don't have to have two assets, and it's different. Usually on DEXs, like the APR is higher because more people swap, but you have impermanent loss risk, which you don't have on a lending and borrowing platform because on a liquidity pool, you're holding two assets. So if many people are swapping from are buying CAS, your position has now less CAS but more USDT. So you are not getting all the exposure from the CAS price going up. That's your impermanent loss risk. But it might be offsetted by the fees you are making from the swaps.
Right. Okay. I'm following. So they're both the ways you can generate yield or earn rewards from Zealous and Kaskad. They are similar in the mannerism of how it happens, but with Zealous, it's done through swaps, whereas Kaskad is done just by Kaspa alone, or just
a different
stable
way of providing liquidity and being compensated for doing so.
Correct.
Awesome.
So yeah, we are all providing a service, so people who partake in this service, they get rewards, and the business builders also can have a tiny reward for providing such service. This is how we are able to survive and scale, basically.
Awesome. That's why we just lost crypto pumps. It's a shame.
Yeah.
But Pi must.
I'm sure he'll make his way back. But yeah, I mean, for the audience, the easy way to think about it is all the yield comes from fees, right?
Yeah.
In lending and borrowing, it's interest on your loan. In a DEX, it's swap fees.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So more features including more features coming to Kaspa, therefore, which just gives more. Will that come under the banner of programmability, or is there something else? That's something else. I'm using another buzzword for no reason. I'm trying to think. Just more.
It's all DeFi. It's all requires programmability to
let's
run.
say, we can say that it allows people to make money in many more ways and expand the strategy. Like now on the DEX, if there's only a DEX, like for your only real strategy is either like buying an asset or selling it or providing liquidity. But when you have also a lending and borrowing platform, you can start like creating new strategies. You can also do like some looping strategies. It's more advanced DeFi, but it can attract a lot of users if there are good fees being generated. It will attract people from also outside the Kas ecosystem. It opens a lot of doors.
Yeah, I mean, that's one question I wanted to actually ask to Jack as well, because my understanding, is that there are hundreds of thousands of developers in other ecosystems like Ethereum and Solana, for example. So with, of course, you building Kaskad on Igra and Kaspa Stack, if you were to have a pitch to these developers on why you should move your dApp over to Kaspa, what would it be if you had one?
I think my pitch would be, how about you try doing lending and borrowing on a proof of work ecosystem this time? Like it's the safest networks there is out there, except Bitcoin. So why are you staying on Base to do your DeFi? You should jump into Kaspa. It so happens that we have the exact same tooling and infrastructure that you already know on Base. So you might as well give it a try, because the gates are open for you. And this is what I like about this Hyperlane integration, is that we open the gates for all those people who are already used to navigating through EVM compatible applications. And we happen to create one other ecosystem that is running on a proof of work system. And like this is going to be one of the safest ecosystem in the DeFi industry. So people need to know about it.
Yeah. And Jack, you have Elliot as part of the Kaskad team. He's looking after an Oracle. So basically an Oracle gets real price data and brings it into the crypto ecosystem. How is your one going to be slightly different? And is it just for Kaskad, or say can people like Lewis make use of it?
No. The Oracle is going to be for everyone. We are of course using it on Kaskad, but we won't launch Kaskad with this model right from the start, because we have to audit it, we have to review it, we have to do a lot of stuff to make sure that it's working as intended. But to put it simply, we are using a novel approach on how we are able to find the fair price of an asset. So instead of relying on one single API call where we fetch the information from CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, and we trust this platform to provide us the right fair price of an asset, we actually simulate a huge limit order book by fetching all the data, all the price sources from all the centralized exchange and DEXs, and we aggregate and we simulate a big unified limit order book, and then we simulate trading between all the orders and the liquidity calls that we have from all the prices that we can see. And when we erase all those trades, we get to this fair price that is the price that we can display on the Oracle. So the idea is we want to make sure to be able to assert that the price that we are showing and seeing is the fairest price you can ever find of any asset at any given moment, which means that if you were to get liquidated, you have the assurance that you got liquidated at a fair price and not at a fake simulated price or manipulated price like we've seen on October 10th, where everybody got liquidated. At least those people that were playing a kind of risky game, they got kind of scammed at some point, because on some exchanges the price were super low and it still affected the overall price on some lending platform. So they lost all their money, and we would not have had this case if we had this type of novel Oracle model, where the Oracle would have flagged, oh, this price might be lower, but there is no actual volume and no bid for this at this current price. So the impact of this lower price is near to zero as compared to all the volumes that we can observe in real time on other exchange. So the Oracle is kind of is going to limit the impact of this fluctuation, this anomaly, if you may. So yeah.
So
would this be the first time? Sorry, Jay. Would this be the first time that this type of oracle has been developed, or?
Yeah, this is the first time, and I think Elliot is super excited about this. And yeah, he's convinced that this is a big, big step in the evolution of oracles on DeFi. So we want to make this happen as soon as possible, but we are being careful with how it's going to operate. So yeah.
So in theory, considering we all probably still feel the PTSD of October 10th, oracles would help very much limit or negate those sort of consequences from happening again.
Yes, that's the goal of the oracle. Basically, we want to provide a tool that is 100% reliable, so you know that whatever happens on one exchange is not going to cascade, no pun intended, into the price of people's LTVs.
Okay. So good.
Just very sly shade in there. But anyways, I'll come back to more Zealous and Kaskad in a moment, because I'm sure there's so much more we could talk about. And just quick poker as well. Those who are watching, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you've got any questions for any of the three or all of us on stage right now, then please feel free to ask them in the comments. We'll get around to them near the end. But I want to quickly do a segue to just pick you out, Ashton, once more, as I'm going to quickly share my screen. Those who may not be aware, there is a brand new update that just came out from IGRA very earlier on, where Sigma Prime has now published their audit report. I don't know why my screen's doing that. Let's put it back. So I wanted to quickly just get your, your word on this, and also, does this mean, or how much closer are we in the sense of getting to that mainnet launch for IGRA?
Yeah, so mainnet launch is very much on schedule, and we've talked about it for a while now, of TGE and kind of private whitelist mainnet happening in late February, and a public mainnet going to March. So I think this is just a stepping stone on that journey. It doesn't change the timeline at all. It just confirms that all the expectations and goals are being met in accordance. And what's really funny is this has been done for like 2 weeks. And I've been talking about it, and I've been asking about it, and internally on the team, like, hey, when do we get the report? And it's really, in crypto, it seems like paperwork is the biggest problem. These guys, the paperwork of getting the report out is what's hard, not the audit itself. But no, there were I think 4 total issues. 3 of them were low, that really non-issues, but just needed some small tweaking, and then 1 medium one. But I mean, Vadim and Roman and these guys on the team, they were able to, squash every bug and make the report as pretty as possible. So we're really close. I had retweeted it earlier today too when I got started, and I was like, just stay tuned. Big things are coming. And it's kind of the best I can tell you right now too. Just stay tuned. It's coming quick.
I gotta say, I'm seeing, sorry to cut you off again, Joe, but I'm seeing so much coming out, even from Kaskad side of things. There's so much being announced in regards to just the layer 2 side of things, that it feels weird that with so much going on, it's like I wouldn't say going under the radar, but because people so much, of course, care on price, it's like they don't really acknowledge what's happening. The fact that we are going through a massive transformation right now, coming through Kaspa, not just with the core side of things, with the RTD flywheel that's starting to ramp up a lot now. We're hearing a lot more from it. But even, IGRA close to mainnet launch, Cashback's now getting stables, I think by the end of this month they've announced, which is equally quite insane. So, I mean, it's exciting stuff all around, I have to say. You hear something?
Yeah, it reminds me of two like typical crypto quotes, right? I mean, a lot of builders say, "Build it and they will come," which is true. So they will come when it's out, not when we're talking about it in advance, right? There's just short attention spans these days, and there's so much going on in the space that it's hard to keep up with it. And the other one that I love is red days are for building. Green days are for having fun and celebrating. Red days are for building. So it's what we've all been doing.
Yeah, it's exciting. I've been looking through the hackathon as well, and a lot of the guys taking part in the hackathon, they've all done hackathons and other chains, and they've won them. You can see it in their X profiles, and now they're coming over to Kaspa and building on Kaspa. I think they've 50 projects, so that's brilliant. But like you said, Jay, Kasplex, they have stable coins coming out. You see some projects from other chains are coming over as well, according to Kaspador. But
I saw something like Web3 AI or something like that. I was quite intrigued by that. Of course, from our talk last week with Pavel about how big AI is going to be. If that's what I think it is, and I mean, Kasplex are also looking strong as well with what they're about to be onboarding as well. Honestly, Pavel,
the ultimate settlement layer, right? I mean, this is the place that agents need to be, and it's just about what type of stack and infrastructure you're going to use as a builder, or a manager, an orchestrator of agents to get them to interact with the chain. EVM makes it easy. Silver script and the covenants are going to make novel things possible on directly on L1. So there's no right or wrong approach. It's just about opening all the doors. So, the humans, the agents, whoever they are can come in.
We had Pavel, like you said, Pavel put me onto it. I didn't really think about it, but after Pavel was on the show, I started looking into AI agents, and you can assign them a wallet. They can book your flights for you. They can do all this kind of stuff. Like it's crazy.
They can create a game.
And like Kaspa is best suited for it.
Yeah, it's possible that in the future we will have more agents interacting with DeFi than actual humans. I'm almost convinced of this today.
It's like what?
And I don't think it's going to take long, Jack.
No.
It's going to be one of those things where you're like, hey, in a couple of years, and then 2 months later, it's already dominating.
I mean, I saw a report from NVIDIA that came out, I think it was sometime in January. It spoke about apparently 89% of firms are reporting positive ROI with AI agents. And when you hear that, you're like, okay, well, they're going to want to push this forward faster. Then if all of them are saying, AI is benefiting them in every capacity, then why would they slow down?
Capitalism at work. They won't. They'll double down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there is, in one of the comments there's at Dumb Foundry. Do you know what that is or who that is?
I know Free Breaker. I don't know who Dumb Foundry is.
When you can read it out, Jay.
Yeah, it says just did a deep dive comparison with 240 sources to determine whether AI agents will choose Solana or Kaspa when both current roadmaps are complete, and the models chose Kaspa. And I mean, I cannot say I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not either, because there's no emotions with agents, right? I mean, humans and ecosystems, they'll just be loyal to things or choose what they're familiar with, or choose, what bag they're holding because they want the price to go up. And these agents don't give a shit, excuse my French. Like they're going to look at the tech and say, what's the least friction for me to get started? What's the most efficient pathway to achieving the goal? And then they'll take it. Yeah.
I mean, we saw it from Igra's more recent post, and now even, I think, referencing or quoting Jonathan a few months or years back, where he said that they're currently in the process of building with the intention the next 1 million crypto users are going to be AI agents, not even humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, when you understand that, when you think about that, then of course Kaspa seems like a no-brainer because they're preparing for that next step anyways, just seeing AI coming on board. So I guess that brings even more applications and liquidity and just overall benefits to what's being built within the ecosystem right now, be it on Igra Kaspa or just on Kaspa natively.
And I started to say there a while ago, but with all the things happening at the moment, like myself and Jay just talk about Kaspa on our YouTube channels, and I thought when I started that I'm going to run out of stuff to talk about, but it never stops. There's always stuff going on, and right now I'm finding it hard to get the time to make the videos about, because there's so much happening, like with you guys, Igra, Kasplex, Kaskad, Zealous. But do you think that finally this is what's going to get us out of the Kaspa bubble, that it's going to make more people aware of Kaspa? like with all these developments that are happening?
Yeah, honestly, I think so, because I haven't seen so much steam in Kaspa for over a year now, and it's like everybody's building. There is a lot of competition, and at some point, everything is going to pop up, and people are going to be overwhelmed with all those possibilities and all those products. And I think this is what we want to see, right? It's cool to talk about price and criticize everybody, but at some point we need to deliver, and we are all close to delivering products and services. So, like, to me, yeah, it's coming. It's coming more than ever.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff talking about the supposed inflection point happening sometime this year, be it off the back of regulations. I know that Mika right now is meant to be going fully live in June this year, which is a big crypto stablecoin policy in Europe. Of course, they're still trying to force out this Clarity Act in the United States right now, which is they're still debating over stablecoin yields, funnily enough. So
and it's just the banks throwing around their weight, trying.
Yeah.
They're afraid of the flight of deposits, right? They think that if you can get yield on stables, you're not going to use a bank, and I think they're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why would
plenty
you?
of grandparents, generational change type stuff. They'll still use their bank because they're used to it, but it will definitely undermine their depositability, which I think is good.
Yeah, I mean they're
It's
already
a
trying
net
to
positive for the citizen.
they're trying to fight back against the genius that's already been signed in as well. And I'm like, it's been
Mhm.
signed into law. What are you fighting against? Just because you're not happy that you understand now that people are going to want to go elsewhere because they know that why give my money in a safe bank, which is going to use my money to make money when I could just do that myself and have
100%.
more ownership. It's safer. So
Yeah, and earn more.
okay, so I've
It
got
undermines the fractional reserve side of things too. I mean, if banks don't have enough deposits, they can't produce more money to lend. And again, that's a net positive for the end citizen, the holder of the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Less fractional reserve banking and less inflation is very good policy. So they're fighting against the inevitable, it feels like.
Yeah, I think that's why I've been seeing a lot of resources that's just saying, like, at this point, banks know they can't because they're already late. They're not going to, they can't, they're going to try and push back, but they can't. So at this point, they're going to be in the stage of they have to adopt the infrastructure as opposed to trying to take it over, as opposed to it's not going to happen. They haven't got the technical advantage anymore or the financial advantage because crypto, at this point, it can't be stopped. I don't see how it can be.
Yeah,
it exists past jurisdictions at this point. So,
especially Kaspa.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a single country that blocks it, you're just going to use an account from a different one.
VPN.
No benefit from that.
We love VPN.
There's a question there for you, Ashton. Sorry, in the chat. Is it still possible to buy IGRA on the pre-sale?
Oh yes, I see that here.
Yeah, it is. Our strategic round is running through the end of February. So if you are interested, basically any amounts are available. If you're over a certain amount or in like a jurisdiction we can service directly, you can just invest directly. And we'll have the TGE very shortly. So you'll actually receive those tokens on the vesting schedule. For small players or maybe folks like me in the US that can't go through, KYC and do this type of stuff, there's aggregator options through Wolfie's Bar and 3 Search Capital and Kaspa.com. So easy answer is absolutely. And all you got to do is get in touch with me or Pavel.
There you go.
And for people like me, like I got into the pre-sale and I have a token called IGRA, I think it is, IGRAW. So
yeah, you
what
went through
happens
Wolfie's,
when,
right?
Yeah. What happens when IGRA goes live? Did someone just swap that for me or what happens?
Yeah, exactly. They'll basically just swap it for you. Those early strategic rounds do have a vesting schedule. So what you'll most likely see is Wolfie's Bar hold those during the vesting schedule because your first cliff is 6 months post TGE. And they have every intention to run a node and be in a tester during that time. So your tokens will be at work for you, earning more tokens through the attestation protocol. And then after that 6-month period, you'll have an amount that you can withdraw if you choose to, or you just can keep rocking and rolling with them for the rest of the vesting schedule, all completely permissionless and up to you. But yeah, they created that just as kind of a receipt. They wanted to create a KRC-20 they could send to you and say, hey, here's something you can hold on to while you're waiting. So I'm not sure that people who went through 3 Search Capital or Kaspa.com have the same thing, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just how Wolfie's Bar decided to do it.
Yeah.
I do have
And
another
I noticed
question.
we're both representing, by the way.
Oh yeah, and the hat. Yeah.
Shout out to Wolfie's Bar.
I think mine's in the mail. I can't lie. I'm pretty sure after I got some more NFTs, I think they're meant to be.
You've been saying that for a long time now.
Well, I mean, I'm more confident now than I was before. I'll make sure to speak to Wolf.
I got a cap. I got a hoodie. I got 2 beanies. I lost one, and I got a bag of coffee that I gave to the neighbor because I don't like coffee. Yeah.
I got a t-shirt. I got a t-shirt in my wardrobe, and then I'm hoping to be getting more soon. But when that comes, that'll come.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going to see Wolfie on and Lev and stuff on Thursday for the Web2 poker tournament they're doing. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Anyone here good at poker? It's just
I like poker.
No.
Yeah. Snap.
Never stopped me from playing though.
Okay, I got actually another question before we get into community questions, which is kind of talk on the technical side of things. So while Lewis, Jack, and even Ashton, all of you have been religiously and been building a lot right now, is there any particular technical hurdle that you remember being like, this is just going to keep me up for nights on end and never going to be able to be solved? Is there anything that you remember being like, you like it really bugged you, but you were able to overcome it?
For me, honestly, I don't have that mindset. Even if something is hard, I tend not to think that way, because I believe that anything can be like solved, literally anything. So I tend not to have those thoughts. Of course, we encountered lots of let's say barriers along the way, but like we've been able to solve all of them, and we built that mental model that we can instantly know that there is a way to solve it, and we can start like thinking of ways, and when it's hard, like you have to try multiple times. You just cannot try once and give up. You need to have the right mental model that yes, that can be solved. You just need to find the best way to solve it, or a way to solve it, and you will start experimenting and like going around it until it's solved.
Awesome. Jack?
I'm not gonna lie, I've had my tough nights.
I can tell when I asked the
back
question,
in the days. But I think for us it was the challenge of building a reliable tokenomic design while staying compliant at the same time. It was really challenging, because you want to do A and B, and the lawyers are saying, but you have to do G and Z before you do that. So you're like, how? Okay, this changes everything. So I remember spending a lot of nights trying to find the proper way to design interaction between vaults and pools in a way that would comply with everything and still be competitive and exciting and on the right side of the incentivization. So I've had this type of challenge, but this is also the times where you learn the most things and you step up, basically. So it's always good to have challenges and to face challenges and to never stop trying, because this is why you find the best elegant solution, and this is how you move on. And I'm sure Igra and Ashton, they have had a lot of struggles as well, and we all like them. Ultimately, I mean.
Yeah, you guys have good answers, though. I was just going to say my Claude Code bill was the thing. No, I love my job now because I don't get in the weeds of the technical side. I know enough about it to talk about it, and that's really what I love doing. It's fun. So I'm standing on the backs of giants, man. There's Pavel and Vadim and the team. I mean, these guys are brilliant, and they do an amazing job. So I just get to talk about what they do.
What's impressive as well, I know Lewis is from that kind of background, but Jack, you used to be in real estate, did you?
Yeah, I used to.
And how did you learn all this? Like, how did you learn to code? And
I don't know. I was building PCs when I was 5 or something like that. So I've always been into tech and into technology and finance, and so for me it was natural to switch from one environment to another, and I did this during COVID. And at the time, betting everything you had on the real estate market was kind of tricky. Everything was pausing, so it was hard for you to project how you were going to make money in a certain short amount of time, or everything was extended to at least 2 years. So I was like, I need to find maybe a way out of this system, because I'm not sure it's going to stay. And this is where I ended up digging into Bitcoin, and then Ethereum and proof of work, and then I stepped into DeFi, and right after that it was Kaspa in 2021, I think, and or 2022, 2022, sorry, and I fell in love with the technology and with atmosphere. I would say, like, it was nerdy enough for me.
You made the right choice. My sister works in Florida. She used to do the real estate properties in Florida, and during COVID, she lost her job. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
so it
challenging.
was a good choice. Yeah, but Ashton, also very impressed by you, because you were a recruitment agent for IT, were you? IT people, and you just picked all this up. You started off with Nacho. You started off, then you did Caspool. You learned about mining, and now you're helping out Igra. Like, it's impressive.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I've always said that I know just enough to BS my way through something. So just enough to be dangerous. But it all just comes from, again, like, interacting with people and talking to them. I spent 15 years, and I still do it today, recruiting engineers for tech startups in the Bay Area, and you just hear how they talk, and you ask them interview questions about how they solve this problem. And I don't have the authority to judge their solution in any way, but I'm listening to it time and time again, 10, 20 times a week, and starting to understand and compare how people do things. And I think the addition of AI is extremely helpful in learning. It's difficult to produce something that's production ready that you can trust with only AI. You need real engineers. You need someone to look at it who knows exactly what they're doing. But if you just get in and have a conversation, you've got this kind of all-knowing mentor that's just at your fingertips at any given time. You just share a piece of code and you go, hey, what the hell does this do? I've never seen this semicolon in this spot on this code line before, and I don't know why it's there. Help me understand. So I think anyone with enough determination can do it.
Okay, yeah, because we had Pavel on, as you know, last time, and he said he took note of you when you were over in Berlin, that how good the event was organized. I know it was you and Chris and Dr. Dan, was it the three of you organized the book?
Exactly.
Yeah, he really took note of that, and he thought that was a great event. Like, that's how he said he noticed you.
I didn't realize that the event was going so well until I talked to Pavel, and I was, he's one of these guys that's like, he's the CEO of the L2 company that's coming, and or the L2 project that's coming, and that's kind of intimidating. I think you talk to someone and you're like, well, you're really important, and he's such a kind guy, and he had such great things to say, and we're really proud of how that played out. But it was a group effort. I mean, everyone who ran a booth. Zealous was the title sponsor of that event. It wouldn't have get put on without Zealous Swap being there and supporting it from the beginning. So it was definitely more than just us three, but I think even the three of us are really proud of how it played out.
It was brilliant, and we missed you there in Berlin, Lewis. You didn't make it.
I wasn't able to.
Yeah. Sometimes travel's hard.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I've only managed to make it to one of the events so far, which was the one in London that took place in December. I plan to go to the next one whenever that may be, but it's the travel element is in this day. Yeah, sometimes it's so much money, and it's like, do you have also the time to take off from work? And it's weighing up the pros and the cons of it. But I'm gonna be there for the next one. Hopefully, see all of us there as well.
You guys get to do a lot in the UK with Wolfie's Bar being there and Lavendi and Chris Hutch being there. You guys get to do a lot. I sit in the chats and get a little bit jealous because I'm like, it's like a 12-hour flight from Los Angeles. It's so far.
Yeah. I've never been. I'm dying to go. Yeah.
What, to Wolfie?
You're not too far.
Wolfie or Los Angeles?
Yeah, no, I'm looking to go over. Seemingly, if you're a Wolfie holder, you get VIP treatment. You get the VIP part of the bar, and I get to drink my beer out of a Viking horn. And yeah,
Nice.
looking forward
I
to it.
didn't do that last time. I think I'm gonna do that on Thursday though.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got enough NFTs as well. You also get a discount. So I'm like, okay, well, might as well make the leverage what I got there.
Well, record it, or it didn't happen. At least with the Viking horn.
I mean, don't worry. You'll see videos of me and Chris just downing some Viking horns, and I don't even drink like that, so I'm gonna have to be careful. We're meant to be playing poker as well. I don't want to give away my hand too early. I actually have one more question, unless Joe has more, or you think of some. But it's going all the way back to the whole liquidity side of things. It escaped me. It's come back to me now. Is there a minimum and maximum for both Zealous and Kaskad in regards to how much you can put into the pool, or how much minimum or maximum you can put into the pool?
For us, no, there is no minimum. Yeah, basically you can put any amount. There's no maximum or minimum.
It's just, of course, the more you put in, the more you can end up generating.
Yeah,
exactly. The more you have capital working for you, the more you are generating. Yes.
Okay. Same thing with you, Kaskad and Jack?
Same thing with us, but we are also an extra rule that says that if you provide a certain minimal amount on Kaskad, then you are going to earn the Kaskad token. So by default, you can earn the interest that is paid by the borrowers as a supplier. Okay, this is handled by the core logic of the lending. But if on top of that, you provide $100 worth of supply, this is when you activate your right to claim some Kaskad token on top of the basic interest.
And the Kaskad token does what exactly?
So the Kaskad tokens is rewarded to people who provide a minimal amount of liquidity and who stay in a supplied position for a minimal amount of time during each epoch, which is 30 days. So if you provide $100 worth of liquidity and you keep it that way for 90% of the time during those 30 days, you can be sure that you will be able to claim the full amount of Kaskad tokens that you are allowed to claim. So this is your extra reward for being there and staying within the ecosystem, the platform. And of course, the more you provide, the more you can claim. And the other role of the Kaskad token is to allow you to retrieve some governance rights and then vote on how to adjust the platform's parameters. So you can, for example, adjust the minimal amount people need to supply in order to earn some Kaskad. You can say, hey, let's say now it's $115 for 85% of the month and not 90. So you can vote with your Kaskad tokens. And the more you supply and the more you have the Kaskad token you have, the more your voting power. So we are rewarding loyalty and on-chain participation on Kaskad. So of course you can supply $1 if you want, you can supply 1 million if you want, but there are more advantages for you if you provide a certain amount of supply and if you stay longer than other people.
Awesome, great. Any other questions, White Joe?
It wasn't really. It's just I know Lewis is got for times, and we're just gone over an hour, so I don't want to keep you guys too much. But Lewis, Jack, Ashton, if people if this is their first time seeing you, where is the best website or the best place for them to go to find out more about your projects? If Lewis, if you want to go first.
For us, it's zealousswap.com. It's our main website. We have everything there. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't.
Okay. Thanks, man. And Jack?
Yeah, for us it's Kaskad.app, and you can sign for the newsletter because we are also sending newsletters to our followers there. So we share information in advance, and if you are not part of this this list, you can follow us on Twitter. It's at @appkaskad.
Awesome.
Yeah, that newsletter they do is good. So if you go sign up for the newsletter and get in your inbox, I enjoy reading it I think it's weekly, Jack, that it comes out.
Yeah, I have
maybe bi-weekly.
4 new newsletters coming in the pipeline. So yeah, I have a few news to share, but you are aware of a few of them already.
Yeah, they're very well done. For IgraLabs.com is the website. You can follow on X, it's IGRA_labs. And right now, I think the big important thing is to get involved if you want to pre-mainnet. So we're talking to node operators and attesters. The attestation protocol is so important because it enables decentralization and enables these light and ultralight nodes. And it's one of the main purposes of the IGRA token. I mean, IGRA is obviously a DAO, and there's governance, just like these guys are talking about with theirs. But the earning rewards on staking this and helping decentralize the network is important. So definitely check out the recent posts on X, IGRA_labs.
Awesome.
And even though you said it before, Ashton, there's still people that think that you've left Nacho, but you're working for IGRA and you're still doing all the other stuff you used to do. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I mean, all the work that we did at Nacho is always community run and volunteer work. So, people automatically look at things and they say, hey, you're leading this project or it's yours. And I mean, sure, we contributed a lot, but I mean, we're just community members and volunteers just like anyone else is trying to make the best. So, yeah, I'm still working on that actively. We updated CatBridge recently and gave it a nice facelift on the NFT side. So people can check that out.
Looking forward to all of this stuff coming out in full force in the next couple of weeks or month from now. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to getting involved. I want to get involved in the IGRA test as much as I can do as well. So I'm going to be making sure I'm on that. I think we all should try to be. One question here from the community. Nothing too major from Wing here. Just asking what is our beauty secret, all of us? What we do to stay looking so fabulous? I just don't get enough sleep. That's my secret.
Mine is just using the right filters. So
perfect. Well, with that being said, as Greg says here, which I'm sure everyone watching will agree with, a big thank you to all of us here who continue putting in the effort to this show. Thank you, Ashton, Lewis, and Jack, and everyone else, prior and future, for tuning into these shows weekly, taking part, spreading the word about Kaspa, spreading what you're doing. It helps not in so much generating FOMO, but conviction in what it is that's actually happening on Kaspa and the clarity that I feel like was lost or was being lost at one point in time, because not everyone here is glued to Twitter, which they're lucky. Unfortunately, I have to be. But those who are on YouTube, you can see these shows right here. Lev had a question here saying, when will we all see you at Wolfie's holding a Viking horn in your hand? You'll see me on Thursday, bro. On Thursday, you'll see me, and we'll get videos together.
As soon as I can get there is my answer.
Yeah. I thought Wolfies would have a private jet by now, but it's not going to happen.
I'm looking forward to a Los Angeles Wolfies one day. He talks about expanding. Yeah. He's working on his South Africa location. Yeah. I want to see one in California.
That would be awesome.
I think he went with South Africa first because it's so cheap to make a franchise over there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, California wouldn't be my first place to run. That's for sure.
I think starting off in the UK in itself is already very ballsy. UK regulations are crazy. I know Wolfie spoke about that quite a lot himself. But anyways, if there's no more questions from you, Jar, if you're all good, then
I'm all good. Just that, will you guys come back on in the future?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sorry, I bailed on you last week.
No, that's all good. I know Pavel's very excited to come on as well. So we'll get both of you two on probably close to mainnet launch, I'd imagine, if not maybe a little after, depending on how busy you both are.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to release the date on Airshow, that would be okay with us.
Yeah.
Or
just tell me so I know in advance, and that's fine. And I won't say anything, of course. But anyways, family and friends, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 6 of Blockchain Banter at internet speed with myself, CryptoPumps, Ashton, Lewis, and Jack. It was a pleasure, gentlemen. As always, you know what to do. If you enjoy the content, leave a like on both our channels. Check out all their socials you mentioned that we spoke about earlier, Zealous Swap, Kaskad, and IGRA, and also Ashton's own Twitter page if he wants to plug that, but that's completely down to you. No, didn't think so. But anyways, have a great day, good evening, good night, my peoples, my family, and we'll see you all next week.